Welcome to Douglas Cutlery, Shaving with Douglas Cutlery. Today I threw together a few little test films. I wanted to show about how the G5 steel stands up. There's been, we're talking about whether or not it's brittle or not. Well, here is a junk razor that I had that I just threw an edge on. You can see here there's no chips in the edge. And I wanted to see just really how tough it is. Here I'm chopping wood with it like it's an axe, and you can see there's still no chips. So I went at it again, and still no chips in the edge, as you can see. So let's try a little whittling. And we're really pulling hard on it here. I mean, working it into that wood. A little more chopping. And still no chips. Now this is a razor that I was never going to sell anyway. It didn't come out right, so I just thought I would use it to dispel some of the myths about the G5 steel. As you can see, beating it against the wood, there is still no chips. Next, this is a Wade & Butcher pipe with a hammer impact that took the first impact pretty good. The second impact, it broke right in half. Now we're going to take the Douglas Cutlery and see how it does in the same circumstances. Pay close attention to the shock at impact. You can see how the wood bounces, how the camera bounces, and we're whacking it, I mean, really hard. I finally bounced it off into the backyard. So I went and got it. Now I'm going to show you what it does take to break it. You see it broke at the pivot pin. You have to give it an impact at the pivot pin in order to break it in the tang. Now I deliberately chipped the blade here to give it a weak spot. And let's see if we can use it for wood splitting wedge. Unfortunately, the camera was fixed in place, and I didn't notice, and we end up out of shot here a few times, but you can see there's the original chip that I deliberately put into it by striking the hammer. Now I want to move over to a fresh point here. So I'm going to show you that there's no chips in the front portion of the blade. I'm going to use that same front portion and drive it into the wood. And no chips. Again, the one chip that I did put in it is where I'm impacting it with the hammer on the spine. If there's a weak spot, it should give right there. Now there's the vintage blade, 2 whacks. It did go into the wood, but it broke just as soon as I hit it the second time. Back to the Douglas Cutlery, driving it in. As you can see, I'm not taking it easy on the blade, and still only the one chip that I deliberately put in the blade. Okay, so I'm going to break this blade. And I am wailing on it. So we're continuing to beat on it. You can actually see in the reflections where I'm hitting the blade, I'm actually hitting it so hard I'm deforming the steel, and then it does finally break. But that's what it takes to damage a Douglas cutlery razor.